that, we're going to get started, and we're going to jump right in. Making money or making mistakes. That's some of the focus of tonight's presentation and seminar. Of course, we're all here, hopefully, to preserve the money we've got in retirement. Of course, it's a concern that you're able to stretch your dollars in order to survive and last through your retirement years. We're all living longer, which is a great thing. Healthcare has come a long way, and people are living longer than ever before. But the flip side of that coin is that people are also running out of money, and we see more and more people having to find innovative ways to make ends meet during retirement. Hopefully, this group can avoid that, and that's what our hope is. We're here to provide you, hopefully, with some good news too, and we're going to start off with what has been marketed as a massive federal government tax surplus this year. It's gone widely unreported. There is a huge tax rebate that is coming, and finally the middle class is in the driver's seat on this one. The government is allowing some of the working public to actually get back some of the money we've paid in all of these years. The average refund from this new tax rebate, we can expect to see between $3,000 and $7,000 for married couples, and if you're $5,000 to $15,000 for retired seniors. So, folks, I'm glad to tell you that help is on the way, and in order to better understand this new tax break that is coming, I want you to go ahead and take a listen to this IRS official, this public announcement that really just came out last week. I think that this official will be able to better tell you how you can expect to really reap the benefits of what your government's been doing for you and all of the hard work that your politicians have put in these last few months in order to make your retirement years a lot easier. So please listen up and hear what this IRS official has to say. I may have had a little bit of fun at your expense. It shouldn't come as news to you. Seniors are not the most sheltered area of our public. The government does not come to the rescue. You cannot expect for your retirement years to go by with the current state of affairs going unchanged. Undoubtedly, as we've seen in the past with Medicaid rules and regulations, with tax laws concerning your retirement vehicles, your investments, things are going to change. They will change. Why, you might ask, would anybody go with an irrevocable trust? The reason is for the divestment plan. Asset reduction, minimization to reduce estate taxes and to avoid Medicaid recovery. Irrevocable trust can achieve those things. You may have heard of irrevocable life insurance trust, the single hardest thing to sell in the world. That's irrevocable. It's life insurance and it's a trust. Whoever thought of that, has a tough sale. But they do serve a purpose. The living trust, the benefits of this document are that it avoids probate. It allows family control. Affairs are kept private. For years, you can go on websites to find out what Katharine Hepburn did with her movie memorabilia because her will's public. Same thing, I think, with Anna Nicole Smith. You couldn't not watch that ETV and see what Miss Smith did there a year or two ago. Not that I don't know that if you cared any more than I did. But the fact is, the estates are very public, and certainly in business situations or family disputes, those things may be better kept private. Certainly that can be achieved through the use of a trust. So what else might you need real quickly? A power of attorney for assets, a power of attorney for health care, a living will, an irrevocable or insurance trust. The powers of attorney, folks, are inexpensive. I think we'll generally do both powers of attorney for a husband and wife and along with the living wills, a set of 6 documents for $50. We all remember Miss Shivo, whose family fought. The parents thought she wanted to remain alive, to have a chance to recover. Her husband wanted to remove her from life support. Certainly with a living will, those kinds of decisions would be made easier. Power of attorney for assets, if you're unable to manage your own affairs and there is an incapacity or just an inability to make it through bankruptcy and manage these affairs, to have a trusted loved one, designated power of attorney, in fact, for you, can certainly make your life easier. And of course, for healthcare decisions, after 9/11, getting any kind of information, whether it be health or any other kind, is just about impossible without some kind of authorization. So you want to talk about a frustrating experience. To have a loved one or yourself in a hospital and not allow your children or your family to know what's going on because of the lack of one of these documents. I think for $50 is probably a good idea, probably a wise investment. The kinds of things you want to collect dust, never use, people never do. If you need it, it's certainly better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And an irrevocable insurance trust, I think I mentioned before, a second tier level of attack if you are in the estate tax arena where you've got an estate tax concern. If you're not married, that's a good alternative to maximize the amount you can pass tax-free by once again dividing your assets into two smaller piles, thereby taxing your overall amount at a lower rate. And
lie today. You know that? They'll lie to you. Isn't it hard to believe? They'll mislead you. Hard to believe in it. You can't look at the numbers and count them as facts anymore. All these other factors out there swirling around that really have a major effect on the market that you have no control over, and nobody has a crystal ball. It's just that simple. Who would have ever guessed that we would have got ourselves in the mortgage mess that we're in? I mean, I lay in bed at night and I think, how do these banks do this? How could you be so greedy that you would completely check your brains out and put them on the nightstand and forget to put them in your head when you went to work the next morning? How could that happen at such a huge scale? Absolutely amazing. How can Greenspan, when he was in there, continue to lower the prime and lower and lower and think that there wasn't going to be anything bad happen on the backside? Bernanke, who is in there now, I mean, geez, does no one understand that when you lower the rate, it devalues the dollar? Does no one understand that? I mean, so we can go out and we'll have a little more, we can give some interest relief to the people that were dumb and they were buying $400,000 houses when they should have been buying $100,000 houses. We can jeopardize your savings and your retirement to help those people out, and once again, you're going to get left, to pay for it, to pick up the tab. How is it possible? How can we let these things happen? It's different times, and we're going to have to stop thinking, that these companies are looking out for us and taking care of us. CD, how to safely lose money in a CD. Sometimes it's harder to unlearn what you know than it is to learn. That's the biggest reason. Successful in the market. Several insurance companies got together and they said, we need to create a new investment vehicle. We need to come up with a new place that people can put money. And we need to do something with the S&P 500 because that's the benchmark. Why is everybody trying to compare to the S&P 500 when they could just be a part of the S&P 500? Right? Well, pretty good point. So they created a fixed index annuity. You have to be an insurance company to offer annuities. You have to be. That's the law. You have to be. Annuities have special tax benefits, but the IRS gives them. See, I learned years ago that the insurance industry was the biggest, crookedest, corrupt, conniving industry in the world. Absolutely hands down. Had a license for 26 years, and I'm telling you what, I have made them millions of dollars, and they have paid me millions of dollars. And they will look me in the eyes, just like they'll look you in the eyes, and lie to me, just plain as day. So you have to understand that going in. And you have to understand there's good and bad everything. But that could really be to your benefit.